What up, peeps? It's your girl, Gosh, come back to Real Takes. Well, it's a time, guys. It is now the new year. Now that we've had 2022 is come and gone, but I can't leave it without doing my top 10 movies of 2022. This one, I almost thought I was going to make it 15, but I said, no, we're going to stick to 10. And also, with that being said, I'm trying to keep this short and sweet. I'm not going too much of a rant on this one. I just want to kind of get to a little bit of the meat of, what is I might have liked really quickly in regards to each and every one of these movies. I think I got a nice little spectrum of which ones that I like. So with that said, let's go ahead and get to the first one. Number 10, Barbarian. Truly did enjoy this movie. I didn't know what to expect. The trailer was very elusive, not giving too much away. Love that because we all know how they roll with trailers now. Love the casting. When I heard Justin Long and Bill Skarsgård was in there, I was like, okay, bet. That's really all I need to know. A lot of people, I will say this, when it came to Bill Skarsgård, after I watched some other people react to it, they're just like, oh, he's a kid. Just because he did it doesn't mean anything. He has range. I've seen him in many things, and I enjoy that, he doesn't want to pigeonhole himself, whatever, because everybody, of course, love those movies. Now, with this one, good guy, double booked Airbnb. We're hitting, rooms inside, the home, go searching, no. And then we end up getting introduced to, excuse me, the mother, played by Matthew Patrick Davis. He did an amazing job because he was mad creepy. Knowing that this was a movie by Zach Kreger, where he never did anything along the lines of horror, totally, for his first time out, he nailed it. I didn't know what to expect. My anxiety was, really up there with certain scenes because, especially with the score, and then the way it transitioned to the next scene, you're like, okay, with the first act, it's like, oh, is this like a short? No, go into another one. Like, how is this, intertwined with this? Oh, I see what's going on. Then we get into the, understanding how this all came to be. Why is it called Barbarian? Get a little bit more layers. Shout out to Richard Brake. And the final act, I will say, some people didn't like the ending, but I'm like, what else did you want to happen? Girl did what she needed to do so she can get up and walk away. So in the end, again, really enjoyed this. Totally what I was not expecting, but I was here for it, and I really did enjoy that one. So with that said, now for number 9, excuse me, so I have a cough, you guys. Number 9, that one is The Menu. Now with that one, I truly enjoyed that film. When I saw the trailer, I was wondering how is this movie? I'm trying to think, am I getting like some sort of suspense sort of thriller? Knowing that Ralph Fiennes and Anya Taylor-Joy was in it off the cuff. Hong Chow, I'm a fan of her, and Nicholas Hoult. So right there, I was already encompassing with it, but definitely from Fiennes' aspect, being that he was the lead chef in this film. You're dealing with a situation where these people are sitting on a boat to go to this secluded island to go and enjoy this beautiful restaurant. You get introduced. It's really a star-studded cast, honestly. I'm just naming a couple of them, what I don't want to take away from other ones in this, but knowing that everything that was listed for them from beginning to end in regards to their experience, every time there were certain things in regards to the lavish taste of the menu, him explaining what they're about to eat and them showcasing it and and understanding what it is. You have some food critics in there. And there's more layers to the story, why it's being set up. They don't know their real purpose of being there. They're thinking they're just there to eat some food. I like how Anya Taylor-Joy's character was not vibing off of it, but then you find out later this particular guest list was exclusive. It was only specific people, and then come to find out she should not have been there. Things were kind of taken out of context of the way of doing it because you could see she's not supposed to be there. And there's intent as to why the main chef, played by Fiennes, wanted these particular people there in this moment for how he wanted, this overall way of this whole evening to flow and how it to end. And I will tell you, the final act of how it ended was not what I was expecting. I love how Anya Taylor-Joy's character is just trying to understand whether the way people are carrying on about the food, not understanding the fines, whatever, and all that, trying to figure out what exactly is happening. Why are you making us do this? Why is this happening? And then being able to figure out a way to get out of the situation. And the way she went about it, it was just done magnificently, because it's amazing how what little bit that she had to do and speak and discuss and say as a statement for her to weed herself out of the situation and come out the last one standing. So again, a great film. I truly did enjoy this film. With that said, number 8. Now, it could be higher, but there's some other things I really did enjoy a little bit more, but it's on the list, and it's Top Gun Maverick. I'm a fan of Tom Cruise. Going back to The Outsiders, it's just what it is. I've been a fan for him, honestly, really since I was a young child. When I've seen a lot of his films, but going back that to the heyday, I saw that as I got older. But I came across other movies like Risky Business, whatever, and all that. So he can't do no wrong. I love Top Gun. I enjoyed that film. Definitely a star-studded cast in that one. Seeing some old faces from the first one, like Val Kilmer, was so nice to see. Of course, Iceman. Being introduced to stories, where things, sad things happen, and we got to progress the storyline. Of course, we're dealing with a sequel, and being introduced to other, characters, family, like, played by the character Miles Teller, and that was really good. So you're bringing in all types of the drama, the action, some emotions and all that. The action, you're getting your action. That's one thing about Tom. He's gonna give it to you, and I'm always here for it. I love it. I can't say enough about it. There's really nothing to say. It really is a good film, and for so long that we waited for so many decades to get it. A lot of people always say, like, oh, we thought he'd probably do it a couple of years afterwards and all. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of the movies that we've all seen over the years, of course, decades, they always kind of do it like that 2 or 3 years later, but never this much later. But the fact that they did, and it still, of course, resonates and it flowed. And I was here for it. So definitely enjoyed this one. If you have not seen it, you definitely need to. Tom's, he's a criminal perfection about, making good quality for you to really enjoy and get your full cinematic experience in there. And this one did not disappoint. So with that said, number 7, it is, what is that? The Woman King. Excuse me. This movie, I truly did enjoy this cast on this one. And of course, at the helm of it, Viola Davis playing Naniska. I loved us learning about the African kingdom of Dahomey. I just love seeing these women, strong women. I love how it showcases certain things that we're doing in regards to that era with the slave trade. Them definitely, speaking on that with her, because I know a lot of people and individuals, when I did my trailer reaction, were bringing up comments about that, like if they don't know if they're going to address it, they're going to address some of that in there. This movie is not the end-all be-all of a discussion about that particular time period. There's only so much you can do in a film where you're trying to discuss that drama, put together actual storyline, and then showcase other aspects of the film. I'm definitely wanting a little bit of action, seeing these women in action, and we did get that. The overall cast, I did enjoy John Boyega, of course, playing King Gesso. We had, I want to say Sheila Atim. Loved her. Loved me some Lashana Lynch. She was a scenester a lot in this film. I was here for her with the way she was going about training a character. Now we played by, I want to say, Tuso Mbedo. I'm going to say the last name correctly. My apologies on that. Just everything about the film I so truly did enjoy. But again, the main person who brought it home with the amount of emotion, the grace, the moments of the soft moments that she has, of course, always being, strong-willed and all that, leading, her, group of females. But Viola Davis, I can never say enough about her. Been a fan for her for quite some time. She's brought her A game, and she couldn't deliver any better than she did in this film. I truly did enjoy this film when I saw this one. So with that said, number 6, The Northmen. I love this film. When I saw the trailer, and I am a fan of Alexander Skarsgård. Ever since True Blood, I have followed his work. When that show ended, I was just like, okay, let me stay in tune with some of these cast members and moving forward in their work. And he never honestly disappoints me. I love his range of work he puts out. This right here was so good. That cast on this one, and again, Anya Taylor-Joy is in this one. Loved her in this one. Bjork was in this. Nicole Kidman. We had Ethan Hawke, William Dafoe, just to name a few. And that's all. That's enough right there for me to say, to get anybody intrigued. I don't know if a lot of people like these type of period type of films, Viking type of films, but I was here for it. I love the journey they sent his character on, meaning Skarsgård, being the fact that he witnessed his father being beheaded by his brother, thinking at the time his mother, is being held against her will. Oh no, there's definitely layers to that story on how she got with his father. Son had no aware of exactly, how he met his mother, and then seeing how she wanted to be with him, and she asked whatever and all, she begged, and then her, of course, as the time grows on, he's older, she's now with the brother, has a son with it. it was just a lot going on. Anya Taylor-Joy, being in a situation where she's, being, tasked to do certain things against her will and all that. They form a little bit of a friendship bond, which, turns into something more. It was just so good. There was some brutality in this, whatever. I was here for all of that. He got shredded. He was immersed in this particular character. And I'm not saying he's never done that before, because if you've seen him in the recent movie where it's kind of like a adaptation to Tarzan, this is not something he's new to. So that's one thing I can say about that. He's another person who will go all out in his character. Sometimes if that means, changing his physicality, he does what he has to do. It is what it is, but I'm here for it. Again, The Northmen, such a great film. I totally enjoyed that. Number 5, The Batman. Now, a lot of people, lately with some movies being so long and all this, a lot of people were just like, what? I did not care. I was waiting for a couple of years. I talked about it on movie news for a while. I was here for this when I heard Matt Reeves was going to be doing this one. At first, when Ben was, going to be a part, then he, got, tapered off, whatever things happened. Kind of bummed, like, who they're going to get. Then I'm finding out it's going to be Robert Pattinson, and I wasn't sure how to feel about that. But I said, that's not as soon as I need to see the trailer. I'm not going to make any judgments. The trailer comes out. Loving the darker tone of it. I'm here for it. This cast was amazing. The score, the way the story is being told, is very dark. I was here for all of it. It's just right for me. I loved everything about it. I will say I really wish they didn't give away the villain in the trailer so much so, but it is what it is. It doesn't take away from Paul Dano's portrayal. He was amazing. I love the scene of him where him and the Batman are sitting across from each other, and the way he's just discussing, and you're thinking the Batman's wondering if he knows who he is at that moment, but you see it. I mean, and when he really doesn't pick up on, what he's telling him, he's like, oh, I thought you were smarter. Just everything about that scene. I just loved it. He was so good as the Riddler. I did enjoy Zoe Kravitz as Selina Kyle. She did an amazing job. Of course, Jeffrey Wright as Gordon. Can't say enough about Andy Serkis playing Alfred. I'm excited about the prospect of them doing another one. I know there's a discussion that is supposed to be happening. I really hope so. I know they might have other things going on, the actors, but I hope in the next couple of years there's something where production has started and we're going to get another one. The Penguin too. Let me not shout out Colin Farrell as a Penguin, because he was great. I was here for that because you barely recognized him. I said that's what I'm calling when you put a person in a character you don't know it is and they can deliver. Movie was outstanding. I didn't care if it was over 3 hours. I was immersed. The pacing was great for me. It was just so great. It's just so great. I so enjoyed that film so much. So with that said, number 4 is The Whale. I loved that film. Brendan Fraser was amazing in that film. I dealt with so many emotions watching that film, going from, definitely, a little bit of lightheartedness, a little bit of laughter in certain instances and all that, definitely some crying, definitely some anger, especially with him dealing with the fact that he's kind of closed off. He is a person who's at 100 pounds, 600 pounds, excuse me, and he's trying to reconnect with his daughter. He knows he's not getting well. He's feeling like he's going to die, so he wants to make amends with his daughter and find a way to build something with her so she can know that she's a good person, all that she's kind of losing her way, not doing good in school. So he uses school and education as a way to bond with her enough, whatever. He had to throw a little something in there, as they say, in regards to money he's, put aside for her. And it's unfortunate that piqued her interest enough for her to engage with him, because as much as you see in the trailer, like, oh, now you want to be my parent, now you want to. It's unfortunate. You have other characters in this. I love seeing Hong Chow, who was in this one as well. She plays a friend. Come to find out when you're seeing this film, he at time was married, but then he is no longer, with the mother to, Sadie Singh's character, Ellie, when she was 8. So now he's moved on. He had a partner. Partner has killed himself, and he still, has a relationship and a bond with Liz, which is played by Hong Chow. So it's all these different dynamics. We're dealing with a person we meet at the beginning where he's seeing him, and he catches him in a moment where he's having, kind of want to say like, he's having heart, issues and all that in regards to his overall, aesthetic, whatever. And it's almost like this guy shows up and it kind of sets off, certain events that are happening where this guy feels like, it was a reason I met you, whatever, I can help you. Then you see Liz, trying to be that caretaker, with coming in there, checking on him, checking his heartbeat, this and that and the other. Then you have this daughter who really doesn't want to be bothered and all that, but she's, kind of staying around for the money and not want you to help me with my book report. And then him trying his best. Now you do see the mother who comes in here towards the end, and I actually enjoyed that, and that's played by Samantha Morton. She did an amazing job when they have their moments that you see where he's like, I want to feel like I did one good thing, in my life, which is his daughter, and to build on that relationship. The range that he showed in this film with those scenes with his daughter, the scenes with the character, Liz, and then that one scene where it was, kind of back and forth between him and the ex-wife. I really hope Brendan Fraser does. I really want him to win that Oscar. He was amazing. I was in tears at the end of the film. No way I was emotional. I just couldn't help myself. Sometimes certain things, it brings it out of me, and the way this movie was done, it was just truly amazing. So with that said, now number 3, Everything Everywhere All at Once. When I first watched that film, it was so much to take in. I literally was immersed. It was almost like the way they did the concept of multiverse was just done so literally effortlessly. There was so much going on. You're dealing with, a family, just unraveling, dealing with reality. And of course, Michelle Yeoh at the foot of it, whatever, it was amazing in this film. I'm glad she's getting all her flowers. She was amazing as with the rest of the cast. What is it? Hugh Kwan. Had not done a movie in decades, comes out of retirement to do this film, and I know he's nominated now, I think, for a Golden Globe. He was amazing in this one. Don't mess with a man with a fanny pack. I'm just saying. With this film, it was so many different types of emotions with this. Definitely, you're getting all types of genre with this one too, honestly. You're definitely getting your drama, your suspense. A little bit of sci-fi, whatever, and all that. I love the scenes with Jamie Lee Curtis in this film as well, when she's getting her parts in, with the action sequences and all that. Those sequences were so good. I love the girl who plays the daughter. Oh gosh, what is her name? It's Stephanie Sue. I hope I'm saying her last name correctly. My apologies if not. I love her scenes. I love the dialogue between her and her mother in the film. Just, oh my God, it's just so much going on. Dealing with a generational trauma. Wishing for dreams. I'm trying to just think of all the things I remember seeing from what was happening, all from the perspective of Michelle Yeoh's character, dealing with past, what is it, not taken, things of that nature. Just a lot of the way it was done with everything they were dealing with their business and all that. It was just so many moments of emotion with them, and then all this stuff happening in this particular way the universes would just change around. Just amazing. It was so amazing the way this multiverse was, displayed to us. I'm going to watch it again because I know there's some areas I'm still kind of scratching my head trying to understand a little bit, but because it was so much going on. But I really was just fully engaged, and I was just enjoying every little bit of it because it was something so totally different I had never seen before. And I love, being all encompassed in something like that when I'm watching a film. I don't want always just something where it's just, I already know what's happening and it's like, oh, what's this, whatever. I like use the brain a little bit, try to get a little better understanding. And sometimes, somebody tells you a little something you don't understand, whatever. I don't mind that. But this, yes, I really, really enjoyed this film. So with that said, I got my last 2. The second one is Wakanda, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. That one, another one, very emotional. Definitely when I had the opening scene at the beginning showing Chadwick, I was just like, please, Lord, let me make it through this film. I don't know if I will be able to do this. But just knowing the way they chose to continue the story through Shuri, coming to terms with, her and her mother, Ramonda, having to deal with, laying to rest their son, T'Challa. Then we're dealing with a situation now where, you have these individuals checking to find out because they're trying to get to the vibranium. You're seeing how all of a sudden we have a particular new character who emerges now. And I want to say he's played by Tenoch Huerta. I'm saying that name correctly. I hope I am. I love us being introduced to his character. I love because I want to open up because I know we're now in phase 5, so we're getting some other characters on. But I love that we of course had our some of our old ones like M'Baku, Okoye, also some other characters added, to like Anika, played by was it Michaela Cow. Then we had a new one that I'm excited about, was Ironheart, played by Dominique Thorne. Definitely here for her. But yes, Tenoch Orta playing Namor. I was here for that because I said I'm somebody who reads the comics, so I was totally here to see that. But yes, this one, knowing that he is trying to protect his people, I love it. We got backstory. Seeing his scenes, seeing him try to communicate, what he's trying to do and how the best to deal with the situation with Shuri, and then eventually at first not coming to a realization was best. She wanted to do something a certain way and he wanted to do this way, and causing a little bit of a little rift, definitely miscommunication, and things start to kind of pick up in the film. Definitely some good action sequences here and there. I love the way they had the technology, of course, as always, was really good. Definitely, again, enjoyed Ironheart. A little comic, a little relief at times within the film was really good. Definitely enjoyed Okoye, having her little moments as well with certain, people from, Namar's team was really good in those aspects of that. And then in the end, Shuri having to step up and, figure out what she needed to do, and had a little bit of help and guidance in words, like even from her mother, and definitely some stuff from a little, character that happened to pop up in the film, which I was not expecting, which was a nice little added little touch to that. But in the end, knowing that she, you're continuing the legacy, and I was here for that. I was happy for it, and definitely Nakia as well. I don't want to forget Nakia, played by Lupita Nyong'o, definitely, and she was definitely instrumental, because of course you definitely get a little bit of a reveal at the end for the end credits, so it's just like, gotta stay around, and that one was a doozy, what's being revealed in that, and I actually liked it. I thought it was a very beautiful scene, definitely a cute little scene in that instance as well. So I'm happy with the way it was. I know they said there was other parts of the way the story to be, told, because the way abruptly, Chadwick Boseman passed away, and no one knowing, and not even, of course, Ryan Coogler, things had to be done. And even I think in the comic books, if I'm not mistaken, at some point Shuri was, Black Panther, so it wasn't so far-fetched. I figured most likely that was probably where they're going to go with the technology she's making, all that. She would know what to do, and it's just understanding of being, if you're, in charge of this, and now you're the leader, things have to be done. So I look forward to them doing another film, and I want to see how they keep progressing the storyline and all that. And I do hope we get introduced to Namor all throughout some part of Marvel in Phase 5. That would be great if he pops up somewhere else. I would love for him to have his own standalone film. I truly enjoyed Tenoch as Namor. I thought he was amazing. So with that said, we're in our last film from my top 10, and the number 1 is Avatar: Way of Water. I can't say enough. That film, you literally are immersed in the cinematic experience. I've already seen it a couple times at the theater, and before I just kind of get into it, I almost like that one more than the first one, but I still have a nice little soft spot for the first one. I love the first one that came out in 2009 at the helm of, course, Sam Worthington as Jake Sully and Zoe Saldana as Neytiri. I love those two characters being the center at, first from the film, and learning about the Na'vi culture, learning about Pandora, knowing that there is reason why they want to take over their civilization and do this, and definitely didn't go into more details back in 2009, but in this particular film you do learn a little bit more, and I like that, because I was wondering, knowing that James Cameron was working on 4 more films, I'm like, okay, well, the story needs to progress. I can love the visuals all day long, but I need to understand the storyline and understand, because with this one being out, we have 3 more, and seeing how there's other parts within the film, if you're paying attention, not just at the visual, how visually stunning it is, but understanding exactly what's going on, okay, and knowing that we're hearing about, of course, Earth is dying, Pandora's going to be for human civilization, all that, and setting up how they're trying to get rid of this. And you see certain parts of, Pandora being burned out, just so sad, and them having to reroute, and then, what is it, I want to say where they end up meeting the Mekayina tribe, and then we get introduced to other particular characters in this particular film, which I love, played by, I want to say, Cliff Curtis. He plays, the clan chief of the people, and then we have his wife, I want to say, played by Kate Winslet. I enjoy seeing her. She was, I want to say, Renee, and then of course original ones that come back, like Colonel Miles, played by Stephen Lang, and all that. Of course, you got a little beef with Jake Sully. This definitely have unfinished business from the first one, but then we're progressing the story along here and all that, and we're getting introduced, to, instead of them being out in the forest, in air, now you have to do a lot. We have to learn their ways, and it's all, amidst within the water. Seeing those beautiful creatures, you've seen other characters like Kiri, played by Sigourney Weaver, where she has more of a spiritual bond with them, and I'm really interested in that aspect of that. And yeah, just seeing that now Jake and Neytiri, they have a family. And we're going to get to, see more of them moving forward in all the other films, the third, fourth, and fifth final installment. I'm glad about that aspect as well. Like I said, they're building up. They're trying to build this, and then we're dealing with the family as time goes on in each movie, where hopefully the kids will get older. We'll see other dynamics of what's going to happen. Other parts of human civilization. Intertwining with them, how that's going to turn out. It's going to be very interesting. I'm truly here for the ride. I just love that this all came from, I think they say, from James Cameron, from a dream, how he, woke up and wrote the sums down, and how this is how we eventually came up with it. But to know what the technology back in 2009, how he was trying to do this, and he had to wait, and we had to wait a little longer. Someone was joking with me about, damn, it seemed like we waited 25 years. I was like, correction, 13 years, but whatever. Came out and is doing very well for being out in less than a month. So clearly some people wanted to see it, not so much some others, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm happy to see the story being told and progressing, and I'm enjoying what he is showing us in the actual film from this second installment. So I'm looking forward to the third one. We're supposed to be getting one every 2 years, all the way up to 2028. So I really am. Again, star-studded, visually stunning. I enjoyed the score. The music was so good. I'm enjoying some of these new characters, and of course old ones, and I'm just going to enjoy the ride. I really am. I really truly did enjoy this, and I really mean it when I say I enjoyed this one even better than the first one, because it really, really was good to me. So I can't say enough about this. So with that said, that is it. I'm not going to do an honorable mention. Just going to leave it at the top 10. So, with that, if you want to comment your favorite films, please do. I would love to know some of what you guys enjoyed in 2022. We have a lot going on in 2023. I'm really looking forward to that. And that might be even a little bit longer, because there's so many things that I know that's coming out. And I'm just really looking forward to the new year, what we have in store, so I can go to the theater, because I'm happy to go back and enjoy films again in the theater. So with that said, you guys, comment below. Let me know what you think. And with that said, I'll see you guys on my next video. You guys take care.